Oh, my homosexuals, come pop a squatty. It's been a day. The days where you make the most educational progress, get the best of your experience, is typically going to be your hardest of days, both physically and mentally. I am what you would call absolutely goddamn drained. It's a struggle trying to find out what's wrong with your body sometimes. Of course, I had my squats today. Clean and jerks felt great. Don't get me wrong. That went really well, as I expected them to. Olympic lifts have been completely fine. But squats, yet again, it just wasn't feeling how I wanted it to. And I'm like, this is so goddamn weird. Because this whole time I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is actually wrong with what I am doing to where even after all these countless breaks, all the rehab, all the accessories, and feeling at my best when it comes to my strength in my left, of course it's still a little bit injured. It's not at 100%, but it's very confident even throughout the workouts. So what is wrong in this very moment that I can actually deduce and look at in this present moment, And of course this leads to me getting pissed the fuck off for a good, 30 minutes during my squat sets, because just squat sets 1 through 3 just did not feel good. Again, they weren't hard. It's lightweight. It should be super goddamn easy. But then at the end of it, I'm sitting there and I'm like, it still feels awkward. I still feel like I'm straining my fucking knee, and it makes me hesitate. And when you hesitate on a lift, you get less a mind-muscle connection, and your core unlocks, and everything starts to unfucking ravel. It's not a good formula for success. It just isn't. So I'm like, okay, let's look at the past of our, not in a negative way, but we're going to take our past perspective and experience to positively enrich our current scenario, as we do. And I'm looking through all my reels, looking at all the past workouts, and I'm like, what is the thing I have in common the most with all of my squats that might be out of line? And I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, well, here's the thing. Turns out, I've always talked about this, ever since I hurt my left hand over a year ago. I've had less mobility there. It's hard to hold Olympic lifts as much as I want to on my left, but I have enough mobility to work with it. It hasn't been an issue in a long time. I have a lot of strength there now that I didn't before, so we're fine. And I'm like, okay, even if it's a little bit imbalanced when it comes to the technicality of it, it's still fine because I have enough strength and mobility to make up for the bone growth I have there. On my squats, if you look really closely, on my left side, the bar pushes down more the whole time, not just in the hole, but the moment I pick the bar up, my left is being pushed down more. And I'm like, oh, now this is fucking peculiar. I feel like a goddamn investigator. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, why is this? And I'm thinking, okay, well, shit, I do have the hand immobility, the imbalance in my left. So it looks like I can't, push the bar and squeeze the bar as much on my left side as I do with my right, which, that could make sense. And I'm looking at the rest of it and I'm like, what is this also inducing? Because it's obviously a little bit more weight on the left, can be a bit of an issue, but it shouldn't be too much to where it's fully limiting me. Before, when my knee was at 100%, I was feeling completely fine doing this slightly imbalanced squat. So what's wrong now? And I have one recording where it's straight behind me, because I've always liked the side angles more. But I looked at it and I'm like, oh, I go down at a very smooth, consistent, even rate. You guys all know this. My ass hits grass at the same time as the rest of my body. Everything's in sync. There's never a worry about whether or not I'm leaning too much on one side when it comes to my hips. Now, what I did not think about was what would happen if I drove my right knee out more, because I always leaned slightly more on my left. And I'm like, okay, well, this is all right. I'm rehabbing it, but why does it still feel weird? And I have come to realize, after all these months of training and rehabilitation, the years of training I've done, not with naivety, with ignorant bliss, that I don't drive my right knee out. Now, don't get me wrong. It doesn't fold in by any means. It stays right in line. And when you're doing a back squat or any squat, your knees drive out on the way up. And I'm like, oh, shit. What a simple fucking fix after all this effort and strain. And on my last set, I don't know how good it looked to you guys. I haven't really watched it back yet, but I drove my right knee out with some more mind-muscle connection. I was like physically manipulating my right knee to go out just that half an inch more. Just that slight bit that you don't really ever recognize. And God damn it. Did that squat set feel good? Oh man, it brings a smile to my face solely for the fact of I can relax a little bit. You know, I gotta say, you gotta be grateful for these experiences, because it could have been so much worse. That's always how I like to look at it. It's no matter how dumb it may seem and how upsetting it can be in the initial stages of understanding this imbalance or misuse of efficiency in my knees. It's such an easy fix. It was one rep, and it felt great. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Everybody always says when you hurt a knee and you're rehabbing it and you can put some weight on it again, try, shifting slightly more onto that side to like give it a little bit more strength in the long run, And turns out it was the fucking opposite this whole time. My right was just bitching out a little bit and not putting in the effort that it should have been. I'm like, dude, you gotta be fucking me. I would have been doing that years ago. I've been training for 7 to 8 years now, and you're telling me it was about knee drive on just on my right. It feels so good to make some progress, though. I honestly, it's something where you have to persevere no matter what to fully understand what needs to be done. You've got to push past that frustration, because if not, you're going to quit every time. I took too many breaks in the past couple months rehabbing this knee, and sure, that was inefficient at the time, but I got to look at it the other positive way around. The way that things ended up is the way that they were meant to. So I got to be grateful that I'm here making good progress and feeling good again. And I didn't feel good to the last set. So who knows how good I might feel in the next workout when I get to drive my knees out every single rep. And I'm looking at it, this is why I'm realizing it's just back squat that ever hurts. You saw yesterday when I was fucking around with some heavier weight just for fun to see what I was capable of, overhead squat felt great. And it's because on my overhead and on my front squats, my stance is always wider, naturally. Because that's just how Olympic lifts are. You always catch just a little bit wider. At least I do. I got long legs. So that's just how I naturally fit with a better balance. And no, this does not mean I need a wider squat. I just need to adhere to what my knees are telling me. And god damn it was just that half an inch of pushing it slightly to the right. So, all in all, physically, I'm thankful, but that doesn't really make up for the shit that I went through today. Physically, I'll give it a 7.45, Not great, but not bad. It was all right. It was pretty even, right down the middle average of just, we got through it. We ended up feeling good at the end of it. Last set, best set, as I'm always trying to say. And again, the clean and jerks did go very smoothly. It was tiresome. I'm not used to volume yet, and I'm definitely not used to pause wrapping, but dude, we are making one step after another, just putting in the work. And I couldn't be more grateful. Honestly, I could not be happier doing the things that I love. It's such a lucky thing that I get to experience every single day. I told you guys, I don't care if going to the gym causes some negatives. I don't care if I end up making some shitty progress or something gets fucked up along the way. It's the act of not doing anything that I'll regret, So I'm going to continue pressing through these physical limitations and just doing my best, That's all it is. It's just accepting the shit that you got to go through right now and putting on your best smile while you do it. I was a bit of a pissy bitch those first couple sets. But at the end of it, I was sitting there and I'm like, motherfucker, we had it in us all along. I knew it. Ugh, I love it. So mentally, after the fact, of course, I'm drained, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, a lot more emotionally than you would expect. But I can still give it a 7.9, you know, just below an 8. It was a really hard day, and I feel a lot better now, but that doesn't excuse the efforts and the triumphs that I had to fucking march through, you know. But we made it. That's what matters. So I'm going to keep loving my knees, giving them the support I want, and that's what it's all fucking about, you know. Sometimes you just gotta sit there and you gotta say, God damn it, dude, why am I so pissed off when I'm sitting here making even the slightest fucking percentage of progress? You know, I pushed through the absolute shit fire that was today's session with no homies, or very little homies at least, and a bag of gummies to satisfy my brain. And we're continuing to succeed. You know, success is not a matter of hitting the big number every single day. You know, hitting the status quo, hitting the new standard that you may set for yourself. It's about showing up, you know, putting in that effort, putting in that progress, and really making it known to yourself that, God damn it, you are doing it. You know, for fuck's sake, give yourself credit. I gotta give myself credit. I keep saying all these negative things, you know, diving under the water, if you will, joking about it, saying that I was a bit of a pissy man. But all in all, like, I triumphed. It doesn't seem like it, and it may not feel like it right now, but this is a leap of success when it comes to just my passion in general. You know, I'm going to continue embracing and loving the shit that I'm going to keep doing, and that is why I'm going to end up on the better side of things. You know, that's why by the end of this shit, I'm going to have a very nice, healthy knee that can squat 500 pounds. I can fucking promise you that. I'm tired of being held back. And honestly, what I got to also accept is the fact that I'm only ever going to be held back by myself mentally. You know, that's all it is. It's a fucking mental game. So I'm going to lock down the fucking fortress that is my that is my psyche. And I'm just going to love every fucking second of it. I'm not just gonna step forward. I'm gonna leap with every new step. I'm gonna fucking hip hop and skip. That's kind of all I got. I've ranted too much. My brain's already fried, but it was tough. Supposedly I'm going out tonight, so fuck my energy. But that's, you know, even then, I gotta put myself in scenarios that'll lead to a positive mentality. And going out with the homies, that sounds pretty goddamn fun. You know, no matter how tired I may be, I don't got to do anything crazy. I don't got to go bonkers and drink my head off. Why not just show up and just have a little fun, enjoy myself, give myself that little bit of expression to really feel out the day. All right, goddamn it, I gotta go. You can already tell I'm trailing off. I can't fucking, my brain's gone. That's it. Thanks for hanging out. I seriously appreciate whoever wanted to hear me ramble on for a while. But, you know, I always appreciate the support either way. It's always such a great thing, you know. So I'm gonna keep running it. Tomorrow I got snatch and bench press. I'm really excited to get back into bench because that's probably going to be my weakest link once my squat gets back to normal, since my pec got pulled twice. But I'm going to work it back up just the same as I would either way. You know, I'm going to keep loving it and caressing the mommy milkers for what I've made them to be. So I love you guys. Seriously. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow. See ya.